Well, welcome back to another edition of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse. And we have a passing to note, and one that I'm not going to fucking miss. Henry fucking Kissinger, 100 years old, proving that evil is hard to get rid of. Yeah. No regrets here. I guess the last holdover of the old Nixon administration that caused so many fucking problems and sent so many young men to die over in Vietnam and shit. But hey, fuck you, Henry. I hope Tricky Dicky's waiting for you at the gates of hell with a fucking barbed wire dildo. But anyway, that's extreme, but our feature today would be considered quite extreme, shot in 1981. Actually, released by a major studio, I believe it was United Artists. And that film promised one of the most shocking transformation scenes ever. The film was The Beast Within. And it opens up with a newlywed couple, Ronnie Cox and BB Besh, going down, driving around in Mississippi for some fucking reason when their car breaks down. So instead of taking his new bride with him to go get a tow truck, he leaves her and the family dog in the car, where the dog takes off and is killed by an unseen creature which basically rapes the bride. So now we segue 17 years down the road where their son Paul was having problems. And somehow the problems are contained in that little town that they have to go find out. Well, Paul decides to leave his hospital bed too and find out. Because you see, I'll just cut to the fucking chase here. It seems that years ago, a guy named Billy Connors, I believe, or Billy Conway or something, took off with this guy, Lionel Kerwin's wife, and got caught. Well, Kerwin killed the wife and locked Billy in a basement in chains and fed him the corpse of the wife. And kept him down there, and being that he owned a funeral parlor, it seems that none of the deceased made it into the ground. They became Billy's dinner. So basically, Paul is down there now trying to find out what's going on in his head. And Billy was some kind of nature guru or something like that. But anyway, his spirit is out for revenge. And the first one who gets attacked is Logan Ramsey, the actor who gets partially eaten by the son. And then, let's see, it goes on, there's an investigation, and the film is peppered with some Southern character actors, three of them who were Peckinpah guys. R.G. Armstrong is a doctor, L.Q. Jones is a sheriff, Lucas Skew is one of the Kerwins, he's an undertaker who winds up getting embalmed. All kinds of shit. The one scene is that he's out with the girl he's going to eventually go after, one of the nieces of one of the Kerwins, and he's out walking around with her when they're making out and her dog walks over and drops a severed human arm by her. Oddly, the same thing happened to me one time when I let Boots take off after a ball in the park, and she came out of the bushes with a pair of worn panties in her mouth, which I completely told her to spit out. So yeah. So anyway, they're digging up a lot of remains, and they're identifying a lot of remains as belonging to people who were supposed to be buried. So they go check this out, and then the whole Kerwin story comes out. And basically, the son is possessed, and there's things happening. And when we went to see this, we didn't go to 42nd Street. We were drinking in our local bar, the Zoo. And the ad for this came on TV, and it was playing in the next town over in North Arlington. I believe the theater was the Lincoln, another little rundown, turn of whatever thing. So we went down there and saw it there. And to be honest with you, that big transformation scene with the head bobbing and the tongue flipping out and shit, well, we were sort of laughing our balls off at that whole thing. So this guy, basically he turns into a giant cicada. That's the whole thing. And he's after the mayor, one of the Kerwins, played by Don Gordon, who was hiding in the jail when the creature breaks in and rips his head off. It also takes this other Kerwin, who is really protective of the girl, a little too protective, slaps her, then calls her my baby girl and shit like that. So she is told to get out of town by the teenager, who knows he's going on a blood-crazed rampage, and basically kills all the Kerwins. And of course, her car has an accident or breaks down, and he encounters her in the woods, and there's our second rape scene of the film, where basically you get to see a tit, him tearing off panties and getting on top of her, which is pretty graphic. And the film ends with him dead and her covered with bugism. So yeah, I think this was released by United Artists, and it's one of those films where they were doing a lot of bladder effects back then, like with The Howling and The Thing and stuff like that. It was written by Tom Holland, who would go on to direct Fright Night, and it was directed by Philippe Moret, who would completely disgrace himself by doing The Howling 2 with Sybil Danning dressed in a little bunny suit, and Howling 3, The Marsupials, which also sucked. So definitely check out The Beast Within. I have been reading that a lot of the gore from the finale had been removed by the MPAA. I don't know if it's been put back in the Blu-ray or not, but the film is pretty fucking gory. And like I said, really incestuous, cannibalistic, weird fucking shit going on. And like I said, released by a major studio, so go figure. So that's our show for today. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. I was going to mention something. Still got that Black Friday sale going on at Alternative Cinema, and I still got 5 t-shirts left. Go to 42ndstreetpete.net. If you order a whole bag of crazy, 2 Fisted Tales at Times Square, Gunfighters of the Drunken Master, I'll throw in a large 42nd Street Pete t-shirt. I only got 5 left. So that's our show for today. Thanks again, and we'll catch you on the flip side.